Hi, everybody. This is the first hands. This is one that came from my friend Caroline, who got it in turn from Conrad, who you probably know goes and offers these very specialist types of hands so you can see the techniques in action. So I thought a couple of them were interesting, and I added one for this session. So I've made it easier for you. The idea of this hand is that North has 6 hearts and therefore South has a singleton. I made it easier because in the original one, North was opening with uh, 5 card majors. I forget but I made it so you be absolutely sure in your minds that North had a 6 card heart suit and South had a singleton. So looking at the overall hand, you can see you can have no problem drawing trumps. The 8 of spades looks interesting, but unless the 10 and the 9 drop, it's not actually an entry to dummy. So certainly worthwhile checking out ace and king of diamonds to see if we have a second entry to dummy. We have 1 in diamonds. And for where do we get tricks from? Because we really need to throw away those 2 losing hearts. This hand is much better done by losers rather than counting up how many winners you have. You just need to find some way to get rid of the 9 and or 6 of hearts. And the only suit you can really do that is the club suit. But of course, with only 1 entry, after the ace king of clubs, you can cross in diamonds, leave the jack to set the club suit up. But sad to say, then you have no entry back again, except you do, because of what I mentioned earlier, that South has a singleton heart. So that means when South wins with the queen, South is very restricted as to what he or she plays back. And 2 of you almost got this right. What you do is the opening lead is the 2 of hearts, so you win this because you don't want to lose any. You play the ace of spades and the king of spades to see if the spades are breaking, because if they do, you'd have a second entry with it, but it isn't. But for all that, although it's not an entry, it would be an exit card for South if South or when South ends up winning that queen of clubs. So we certainly should play a 3rd round of clubs because we're trying to strip South of exit cards. And now we can go for this make or give South an impossible decision about what he plays when he wins his queen of clubs. So first of all, we need to strip the clubs so that the jack and 10 become serious and useful threats. We can cross over ones, which is crossing over with the 10 of diamonds to the king or the queen. I don't think it matters which, they're all on view. And now the magic moment, I can leave the jack of clubs and set up the club suit, but they're going to play a diamond back and I'm going to be forced to win with the ace of diamonds. Or am I going to be forced to win with the ace of diamonds? No, I am not, because I am going to throw away the ace of diamonds. And since the hearts were stripped from the beginning and the spades have been stripped because I played up all 3 of them, South is only left with diamonds and clubs. And you can see it does no longer matters which card he leaves. This allows me to reach dummy with the 10 of clubs. So I discard 1 of my hearts and the other one on the other club of the king of diamonds. But likewise, whereas a moment ago, a diamond lead would have thrown me in so that I would have to go and play my hearts and be humiliated by going down 2 tricks. Now when a diamond is led, the king is the card that's going to win. So once again, I'm in the dummy, ready to cash, well, at least 1 club trick. I'd cash another if I could, but I think I'm going to be forced to rough it. So Both of my hearts go away, and I have made my contract. And now I'm going to really please Sanya because I'm going to claim the contract. She just loves it. I should have just discussed the auction with you. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Mainly, we're doing play here, but let me discuss it with you. So if I export it again, so you can see the hand at the table, it was a two-heart bid, which I think about 110% of us would make if we had that hand. East is just too strong to make any simple bid like four spades. Six spades is a bit over the top. So as usual, you start with a double before you make a bid. And the interesting thing is East-West here are playing Lebenssoll. And if you don't know it, Lebenssoll actually has a dual meaning in bridge. It's a system you can play when there are overcalls of your one-note trump system. And it's a system you can play when it starts with a weak two followed by a double. And in both of these systems, the bid of two-note trumps is used as a relay, usually to show weak hands. And when it's a weak two, so here, two hearts, double, pass around, the normal range, I believe, is 0 to 8. If you bid immediately the 3 level, you're showing some values, but with nothing special, not enough to go to game. So if you bid 3 clubs straight away, you'd be showing a reasonable 8 points up to a poor 11. So I have some values, but not enough to really go to game. When you have less than that, and this is only a 6 count, maybe 7 with the club super, I think it was 6 count. You have to start with a 2-note trump bid, which forces his partner to bid 3 clubs, which you will pass or bid your suit. So it's just not an announcement of intention to play no trumps. It's an intention of range showing, and you should all play this. It's really an excellent convention. If you don't play it, you are just guessing when you know partner bids three clubs on a 10 count or partner bids 3 clubs on a 3 count. How can you make sensible decisions if that's what you're doing at the moment? So partner has to bid 3 clubs unless partner is super strong and doesn't want to hear what you have to say. And that's why it went the 5 spade bid. I am super strong, partner. And now West decides, well, I've got a little here. I will go on to the 6 spade bid. So that was the auction, which really I should have discussed with you earlier. And the play was, well, we did the play. So it's all about throwing away the ace of diamonds so that when South leads, stripping him of his major, the other major, and then throwing him in with the club, but leaving him no option but to put you back into dummy. Well done to those who saw it, and commiseration that you just, well, you both know what you did. So, okay. Any questions? Don't see any at the moment. So unless one appears quickly, I'm going to move on to hand 2 in this set. So that's in account, and I think it's in the trial because I never properly loaded it. And it's board number 2, and it's export to the table. There we go. Okay, so the auction on this was, let me just see where I got it from. It was a real but ACL hand. So the fact it's an ACL sequence explains, of course, why South can open 1 spade, which is the bid chosen. Pass, 2 hearts. And in fact, there was quite a long sequence here that was at the table. But of course, I don't want you to have to plow through loads and loads of bidding when the idea is how do you play the hand. So I shortened the auction that was found at the table and made it 4 hearts followed by a 6 heart bid to reach the contract that perhaps I haven't reached it. Let's try again. Okay, to reach the contract that I wanted to reach. Okay, so the lead is the two of clubs. That was the lead chosen at the table, so that's the lead I've chosen for this hand. And of course, it's going to start in the obvious way. You're going to play small from dummy. A queen or jack will come up unless East is incredibly generous. And when it's the queen, most people will signal honestly, because helping your partner know what's in your hand is more valuable than trying to fool declarer. So when the queen goes up, the jack is probably on that side. You, on the other hand, as declarer in the north hand, can hide. Or so if you're defending, of course, you'd win with a king to try and tell partner I've got the ace as well. But when you're declarer, you always try and mask things. So you win with the ace, so that leave East wondering, does partner have the king of clubs or not? Always play the cards that give the least clarity to the opposition. Anyway, let's go through the hand. You're going to come to 5 heart tricks, 2 club tricks for 7, ace of diamonds for 8, and ace of spades for 9. And now you need 3 more tricks. Well, you're going to need a finesse to be right for sure, and you hope it's the diamond finesse. Because I haven't right, so perhaps I'm following what happened at the table. I would have taken the diamond finesse, because then if it wins, I would have various ways of playing the spades. For instance, I only need 2 spade tricks, so I could lead low to the jack. So actually, well, I'll totally ignore my notes, I think, and play it what I now think is the right way. Should I take the finesse before I draw the trumps? Have I any use for the trumps? Not really. There's nothing I'm going to be able to trump. So if I leave them, the trumps, they may trump something. Do I need them for entries? Well, possibly. If I play off all the trumps straight away, I need to reach hand several times to go and take finesses. The diamonds don't look very risky to me. Because I need the hearts as an entry suit, I probably would go and take the diamond finesse at this particular instant. And it wins, which is very good news for us, because now we only need 2 more tricks. And I'm not quite sure. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my notes just say, presumably declarer took the spade finesse and then I did the same thing. Okay, well, let's go carry on as if we're. So I'm going to do king of hearts, because I really don't want these. Jack of hearts, ace of hearts. So that gets rid of any trump threats, and now I'm in hand. So again, I can see so many ways of playing these things. One of them is to play to the ace of spades and then low back towards the jack and then small back towards the queen. I still have an entry with the ace of diamonds, so that looks a safe way of. No, it's not safe, because the jack of diamonds spades would be. Right. Okay. So let's suppose we're not. Let's suppose we just go decide. I'm not sure this is the right line. Should he signal? Well, I don't think so. We're at a stage when giving signals to partner about your length isn't particularly going to help him and may help declarer do the right thing. So I would probably go and play the 2 on that one. And now South will remember the lead and play a club back. Well, we discussed earlier the fact that the Queen of Clubs denies the Jack and is likely to be a true card. So you have a finesse position, but I personally wouldn't take it. So I would rise with the King on the assumption that East does have the Jack. And finally, we come to a position which is very common. It is when you have the contract seems to depend now on spades breaking 3-3. So if spades were initially 3-3, I would be able to cash the Jack, cash the ace, and then my small one will be good. And what's noticeable or special about this situation is that when you have it, if you have another card which is a threat against the opponents, remember a threat is a card that can only be beaten by one opponent, you should rather just cash it immediately and see whether you're lucky. You should always play it as a squeeze, because you never know when the person, if the spades aren't breaking, maybe the person with the last spade is also guarding, in this case, the club suit against the threat that you have. So never just rush to play off the spade suit here, the 3-3 fit, and learn your fate. And the way you play squeeze is you play up all your winners, you play up all your side suit winners, and end up playing all your long cards to reach a position where you can cash the winner, which is all on its own. Now that's the 10 of clubs. That's the card which you've got no way of getting back to dummy later on to go and cash it, and be in a position to play across to your long suit or your other threat card. Now, that's the fourth round of spades. We've already had one round. You want to be able to be in a position to cash that 10 of clubs or play the spades and run the spade suit at the end. So cash all my winners and then run my long suits. Well, there's 2 ways of doing that. One way I must cash this winner here, because squeezes don't work unless you cash all your side suit winners. It leaves the opponents with a spare card that they can just throw away and hang on to the card that you're trying to force out of them. And then you want to get back to your hand to run your suit. 2 ways of doing that. I suppose the clearest way is to do it in the spade suit. Play the back over to here. And now run your remaining winners. This is something people find very hard to do. They're so used to hanging on to trumps as, well, if the opponents get in, they may be able to cash their 5-card club suit. So I must keep a trump just in case they've got this hypothetical 5-card suit. But here, they're just your long suit. They're the same as any other long suit, as though we were in no trumps. You play that off to force your opponents to hopefully make discards that they don't want to make. Even your last one, you must play off that last one. And you're in a classic position here. You left yourself with the ability to cash the 10 of clubs, and with the ability to cross to the other side and see whether the spades were 3-3 all the time or whether you squeeze somebody. And here you do, because East is hardly likely to throw the Jack of clubs away. Partner should have played the 10 of clubs back if partner had it. So I think, well, don't know. Good. He'll probably hope that you don't have the 8 of spades and that you're stuck in hand. So my guess is he'll throw the 7 away. Well, that's a useless card to us. The cards we're concentrating on, the 10 of clubs and the length in the spade suit. So, okay, well, we've done our best to force cards out of the opponents. And yes, we had to. East did indeed have a 4-card suit, and we've forced it out of him. So apologies in a bit, because I didn't realize just how many ways there were of playing this hand. The original declarer took the spade finesse straight away, and then set up the squeeze and actually did make the requisite number of tricks. So I'd missed the fact that if you take the diamond finesse first, you have many other ways of playing it. Still, that's certainly a way of playing it, and everybody happy. We take the diamond finesse, we take the spade finesse, rather than just cash the spade. And this is really important. Rather than just say, I need spades 3-3, let's find out. Play it as a squeeze, cash everything in sight, and see if they're forced to throw away one of the spades and make your contract because of that situation. Right, I see no comments, and I'm doing okay with the pronouns, Bob. I don't know. Really, that's a question, serious question, Bob. I do just forget. So, okay, well, no criticism for Bob anyway. So, moving on to the next hand, how to decide? There was only one way to finesse in the diamonds. I mean, you have the 8 queen of diamonds. The only way to finesse is leave the 9 to the queen. Okay. Yes, well, that I think is what I'd missed when I set the problem, that there are various ways, because when you play the spade, you are even if your first spade finesse wins, the opponents still own the king of spades. So it's likely. So I might have decided, especially once the first diamond had won, I might have decided to leave the 3 of spades towards the jack, or various options I might have had. I think I just missed it because the original declarer played a spade. I just went along with that particular line in my head. But if you're going to take a finesse in diamonds, there's only one way to do it, Terry. You have to lead a small card and then put the queen in and hope that East has the king. When you come to a suit like the spades, well, it depends how many tricks you want. If you want 2 tricks, the finesse to take is to lead the 5 of spades and put the queen in. You hope again that East has the king of spades and you've made 2 tricks. If you want more and you don't have the 10 of spades to give yourself in-depth finessing options, then as Robert's saying, you've got various ways. You rather than just rely on the queen being the right side of the king, you could leave the 3 of spades towards the jack and hope that the king is with the west hand. So there's loads of ways of playing the spade suit. I think you should take the diamond finesse first. If the diamond finesse loses, the only way you'll ever make the contract is that East has a doubleton king of spades. Then when you finesse the spades, you play small to the queen, and then the ace will drop if it's a doubleton king with East. So I really feel I've played it correctly this time. I've tried the diamonds first, and knowing it's working, I then had loads of options. But if it had lost, I would have had to assume that the spades, as shown, are reversed, go back to dummy, 5 of spades to the queen, wins, then the ace, and now I have to drop the ace of the king when I play the ace. Yes, in general, give yourself more options because there's only one way ever to play the diamonds. So do that one and learn from it what other options you have in the other suit. So apologies for not thinking it through. I think it's a reasonable hand to give you, but I could probably have set it so it's a bit less problematic in how you play the spades. Anyway, let's move on. This is hand number 3, apparently. So export to the table. And one spade. Pass, two hearts. So this doesn't look like 2/1 auction, or we'd be forcing to game with the hand opposite. It's certainly, if you're not forced to game, certainly a sequence I would prefer, because just because you have a 5-3 spade pick guarantee doesn't mean the partner doesn't want to know that you've got a 5-card heart suit. So, okay, you might even have a 5-4 heart pick, for instance. So I don't think it's silly to try and describe the hand in full, but you couldn't do this in 2/1 because 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. No, you just don't have the values to go and show that you have enough for game. Okay, so pass, 2 no trumps, presumably influenced by the loads of controls in the minors and the fact the spades aren't very good. 2 hearts has already shown a 5-card suit, so North completes the description of his hand by offering the spades, and South decides, not entirely clear really, but there again, these rigid holdings where you must play the ace and the king, or you must play the ace, the king, and the queen. They don't value anywhere nearly as if you do a the Kaplan Rubin evaluation, you'll find that when they're in suits which are longer than just the basic ace king, or the basic, they get many more value points than when they're just ace king queen alone. Anyway, the bid we got here is 4 spades, and if I just check my rubric, and I have a feeling this was a real hand. Yes, it was a real hand. Lovely. Okay. Since mainly I look at my friends' hands and most of them play ACL, they tend to be ACL auctions. Every now and again, I drop into one of your tournaments and you get a 2/1 auction. But alas, I don't do it all that often. Okay, the lead is the 10 of clubs. Don't know why. What was the auction again? Oh, I see. So he's got aces in these two suits, right? So it's a choice between leading a club or leading a diamond, and he decided to make the more active lead from the queen 10-9. Probably right, because it only needs partner to have the ace or the king or the jack for the 10 to be right. Was when you lead from a jack, you normally need a little bit more than just partner owning a single card to make it a worthwhile lead. So no problems anyway, because although it might have cost a trick, Declarer has 2 winners. As usual, try to hide your cards from the opponents to make life difficult for them. And now let's become the opponents. The South. How are we going to make this contract? Well, we have 1 heart loser, and in spades we have 1, 2, or 3. You could, I suppose, start playing the hearts to be in dummy to lead the 2 of spades toward the jack, and working, because I notice East has the singleton king of spades, but you wouldn't know that in real life. And playing hearts has a problem associated with it. It's quite possible that somebody has a singleton heart and then another heart is played and they get a trick they don't deserve. So it's not clear to play a heart, nor is it clear that you should be leading the spade from dummy. So let's assume that we can't see the East hand. Then what looks natural is to draw the trumps as soon as possible. Ideally, I would like a 2-2 spade break. And then I'm in the clear. I'm going to lose 2 spades. Nobody's going to ruff a heart or a 3rd round of diamonds or anything like that. I am home and dry. So I lead a spade, and of course, West will just duck it. And now we come to the interesting question of which card do we play from dummy? Now, if you're a man who likes coloured pictures, then of course you're going to play the Queen of Spades. But if you look at all the cards, you will notice that that 6 is not as low a card as you might think, because you also own the 7, 8, 9, and indeed even the Jack. So if you decide to put the 6 of spades in, you are in effect finessing against the 10 of spades. So both of these are good options. Finessing against the 10 will win whenever West has got the 10 of spades, and playing the Queen will win, well, especially when things are breaking 2-2, for instance, or certainly when East has the 10 of spades. So which one is better? And well, it'll take a bit of time to run through this, but I'll tell you the false argument afterwards. Let me give you the correct argument. First of all, forget about 2-2 breaks. You can put the 2 of spades in if they're 2-2. Let the 5 of spades win if they're 2-2. Well, it can't win, but 10 win. Because on the next round, if they're 2-2, the ace and king drop together and you've lost 2 spade tricks. So you have to concentrate on the other breaks. So the other breaks are 3-1 and 4-0. Now, if there's a 3-1 break, there's only 4 of them, which is consistent with the 5 of spades coming up from West. So one of these is that the 5 of spades is singleton, and all of the others are singletons on the other side of the table. And of course, there's 3 of those: singleton ace, singleton king, singleton 10. So which is it better to do? I've got ace, king, or 10 on the right-hand side, or the 5 on the left-hand side. Well, if the 5 is a singleton, I should play the queen, and then later on, I'm going to finesse against the 10. If it's a singleton ace on the other side, I should definitely put the 6 in. I want the ace to be played on a small card. If it's singleton king on the right-hand side, I should definitely put the 6 in. And if it's singleton 10, then I should put the queen in, because I want to beat that 10 with the queen. So actually, when I go through all the 4 3-1 breaks, 2 of them I should put the queen in, and 2 of them I should put the 6 in. So I haven't got anywhere so far. So is there some other clue? Well, there's 2. One of them is, it's all very well saying there might be a singleton 10, but then West has ace, king, 5, and half the players I know just rise with the ace or the king. They just can't bear putting their 5 in, and, you know, the queen wins in dummy. So actually, the 10 is not as likely as you might think, which inclines you to put the 6 in. But there's a much stronger argument, because we haven't looked at the 4-1 breaks. What should you do? And 4-1 breaks happen 10% of the time, which means 5% of the time it'll be 4 on the left. And it has to be on the left because West just followed with the 5 of spades. So there's only one person can have 4, and that is West. And if West does have 4, you really got to put the 6 in. That's the only way you're going to deal with it. So 2 2s, you don't care. 3 1s, pretty even breaks, except psychologically, West might have already risen with his ace, inclining you towards the 6. And then the serious extra chance, West 5%, West 1 in 20 hands. That time, West will have 4 of them, and you should put the 6 in to make sure you're contract. So it's an interesting sort of exercise in going through it, and you see it's working here. And the sad thing is that when it was played, of course, the actual declarer put the queen up without thinking much about finessing against the 10. And if I just go back to that, because at the moment you're fine, you've still got the queen, you've still got the jack, they're only going to come to the ace of spades. But if you put that queen in, come on, queen, yeah, well done. You can see now that you've managed to leave yourself with two spade losers. The ace and the 10 are both going to score tricks, and the ace of hearts is going to score one as well. So if you rise with the queen, which is the anti-percentage chance, you do actually go down as the declarer do at the table. If the dimes are two, yeah, nothing matters. And that's why I said I'd tell you about the false argument. So if I just go back to the moment when I have to make my decision. Right, the false argument is the principle of restricted spaces. You go and lead the 3, the 5 comes up, and you say, well, I've seen one extra card in the west hand, so East has 12 unknown cards, West has 11 unknown cards. East is slightly more likely to have the 10. I mustn't put the 6 in because East is more likely to have it. Now, that argument about East is more likely to have it is true. However, when the East has it, most of these 10s are with Ace Doubleton and King Doubleton. It's true that it occurs more often, but in the 2-2 breaks when you have no interest in what's going on, you always win every time there's a 2-2 break. So actually, although you can be misled by these arguments into, well, he's more likely to have it, therefore you should do something, but think a bit further, of these breaks, do all of them matter? And here, only the 3-1 breaks and the 4-0 breaks mattered, and that then tells you to go and play the 6 of spades. So, Robert, so 2-2, if they're 3-1, ace-king happens twice as likely. Yeah, but don't forget the singleton 5 happens equally like all 3-1 breaks are equally likely, Robert. So another break is the singleton 5 opposite ace king 10. So ace king, you should play the 6. Singleton 10, you should play the queen, and singleton 5, you should play the 6. Is it ace? Have I got this right? Singleton. Oh, do you mean have I got this right? Singleton ace, you play the 5. Singleton. Oh my God, I can't. It's even the singleton 5. No, singleton 5, you need to play the queen. Of course you do. Right. They really are equal, Robert. Singleton, ace of king, you must play the 6. Singleton 10 on the right hand side, you play the queen. And singleton 5 on the left hand side, you must play the queen. And all of those 4 breaks are equally likely. So the 3-1 breaks don't resolve the best chance of what to do. But the 4-1 break does. Every time there's a 4-1 break, very definitely right to put the 6 of spades in. Is that all right? Have I said it too quickly? Right, you're just looking at 3 of the 3-1 breaks. Singleton ace, singleton king, singleton 10. But there's a 4th 3-1 break where West has the singleton 5. Takes a long time to type things, doesn't it? I'm going to assume you're okay, Robert, and I'm going to move on to the next hand rather than keep everybody waiting. Into the table. Yes, I'm not convinced it's the right thing to do. But for instance, you really have the same decision a lot of the time. If East plays the 5 when you lead a spade from dummy, you still have a decision. Do you finesse the 9 or do you finesse the jack? But the way the cards are laid out, I say the reason you shouldn't do the heart is that it's just possible that somebody has. I mean, there may be a 5 or even 6-0 heartbreak. So it runs to E6 card heart suit and it gives his partner a ruff, and suddenly you're 1 down. So yes, you can do it, but I see no reason why you should, because when you lead the spade from dummy, East might play the 5 of spades, and you have exactly the same problems as leading the spade from hand. We need hand 3 clay. Oh, really? Right. Oh, good job you're there, Sam. Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to succeed? I'll do it with the right play then. Okay. So after that, I've now only got one loser. I've got two more losers, the ace of spades and the ace of hearts. I'm claiming all but two tricks, Sanya. Is that good enough? Claiming 9 tricks and contract just making. You're right, I had completely forgotten. Good job you're there. Okay, board number 4. So export to the table. Okay. Hmm. Um, three spades. So where did I get this from? Okay, so this is a David Bird hand, and I suspect I wasn't given the auction, just told that they play in 6 spades. So I've invented one, I think. So 2 clubs, of course, is game forcing. 2 hearts just happens to be the system I play. I play that 2 diamonds. I'm not a cokish man. If you play cokish, you've got to go in with 2 diamonds. I play 2 diamond shows 4 to 7 high card points. 2 hearts is the really dreadful hand that shows 0 to 3, and anything else will show 8 plus with no balanced or 6. 3 spades shows a single suited hand with an absolutely solid suit, and we are going to play in this suit partner. So because when you open 2 clubs, it forces the game, and you don't have to jump bid. Even 2 spades is forcing to game. So the jump bids have to mean something very specific. So West has lied to some extent. He's not ever going to show the club suit as a club suit. He's just told partner, this is the only place we're going to play partner, and it's absolutely solid. East, of course, actually has a fit and raises to 4. I guess with the singleton, he bids 3 no trumps as the only alternative bid. And, well, West has a very good hand. In all honesty, I'm not sure there's any sense. All these really outrageous hands where you need partner to have just a little. It's very, I mean, how does partner know, for instance, that the jack of clubs is really an absolutely crucial card? Anyway, West decides to take a chance with his 2 losers and bid on to 6. So the lead is the King of Diamonds. And, well, at least we have a simple hand to analyze. We have 11 winners. I can spot them fairly easily. They're all big, mainly pretty. And we also have the loser of the 5 of hearts and the 7 of clubs. Now, sadly, partner's honor of the Queen of Hearts is kind of hard to use. I can obviously draw the trumps, and I might be able to throw somebody in, ace, king, queen of clubs, and then there's a club loser, so I exit on my club. But surely they're just going to play a diamond. There's no reason to think that they're voiding diamonds and they have to lead away from their king of hearts, and so I make the contract. So the Queen of Hearts is a very attractive looking card, but I really can't see any sensible way to actually use it. So that means I have to fall back on clubs being 3-3, except you never fall back on clubs being 3-3. You always think, well, is there a squeeze on? Well, this time, no. Certainly, I've got the 4-card club suit, but I've not got the other card, which is a threat against it. I have a threat card. The Queen of Hearts is the threat because it can only be beaten by 1 opponent. But I've no way to reach it. I have no way to set up the classic squeeze position where I win all my winners, ending in the hand with the single threat with the Queen of Hearts ready to cash it, and then I go over to the clubs. So yes, in principle, but no in practice, no way to set about it. So it looks like there's nothing to do except play off the draw the trumps and play the clubs, but there's a slight gain. I might be able to draw um, 2 rounds of trumps, leave a trump out. Well, then no. Normally I'd expect them to break. So let's just find out if they are breaking. So follow here, rough this. I'm going to keep my 5 because it's an entry to the 8. So when I used to teach bridge, I always used to encourage my players to rough as high as possible. And I gave them style points for doing it. The reason I got them to do this is that so that they begin to recognize that although the ace is a super strong card, when you own the king, queen, jack, 10, and 9, really, they are all the same card. They're all just as powerful as one another. Now, if you rough with the 9, somehow or other, you're still keeping this idea that really the 9 is weaker than the 10, which is weaker than the jack. They're not. They're all just as strong as one another. And by getting people to rough with the highest card they can afford, it helps train people in the idea that these really are just the same card, and treat them as equals in the play. Anyway, let's have a look. I'm going to follow with this one. What would I throw? Well, if Declarer's got ace and king of hearts and nothing I can do to stop the queen, I'll probably throw the heart away. I don't really. Declare's not supposed to have a 4-card suit, so. But I can't see if he has ace, king, queen of diamonds. He's always going to cash them anyway. So I'm probably going to throw a heart here. I don't want to throw a diamond that's 4 in dummy, although I must say keeping the 3 and 2 of diamonds isn't very attractive either. They look like losing cards to me. So a diamond discard is quite attractive. Don't like throwing clubs at all. I'll follow to some high card with the 2, and then who knows how useful the jack, 10, and 8 are. Okay, here we go. So I now get the bad news, me being the West Hand Bob. I played off the first spade expecting them to be 2-2, and what I thought I'd be doing was cashing 2 rounds of spades, drawing all the trumps, and then ace, king, queen of clubs, rough a club, and yay, I've made my contract. But no, luck is against me. Nevertheless, it's a good idea to keep a trump, because if I can play off the ace, king, queen of clubs, then I will still be able to rough the 4th round of trumps. I'm thinking now that South has 4 clubs along with the trumps, so I cash ace, king, queen, and he just has to follow. And then I've roughed my last one, made my contract. But there's yet another improvement I can do here, which is whenever you've got a suit like this and there are trumps out, you always improve your chances if you play the clubs from dummy. Because even if South is void in clubs right at this very moment, if I go and lead the 3 of clubs from dummy, South cannot rough to advantage. You will just throw the 7 of clubs away, the loser, and leave yourself with the ace, king, queen of clubs, discard a heart, and rough a heart later on. So leading the clubs from dummy is excellent, and you should do that as often as practically possible. So if you only had the entries, you should go to dummy and immediately lead a club to the ace, cross to dummy, immediately lead a club to the king, and yet again cross to dummy, leading a last club towards the queen. Because each one of those plays through South. South has to decide before you play whether he's going to rough, and then you have advantage. When he roughs, you throw your loser. When he doesn't rough, you score your winner. Now, that's all very well because we don't actually have 3 entries to dummy. In fact, just between you and me, we just have one, that 8 of spades. We carefully kept the 5 of spades, so we do have an entry. So can I even manage 2 leadings of the clubs to the thing? No, I can't even manage 2 leadings. So when you've only got 1, then what you have to do is cash some of the winning clubs first, and then make this play through the south hand to say, go on, make your decision. Are you going to waste your trump, or are you going to let me score my winner? So that's what we're going to do here. I can only lead once, so against the ace and the king I have to cash, but it will benefit me to lead towards the queen, the one lead that I can actually achieve. If there had been a second entry, I would have cashed the ace, and then I'd have led to the queen, and later on I'd have led towards the king. I'd have done 2 crossings. But this one, I've got to do the ace first to set this up, and just hope he got at least 2. Okay, that's excellent. But now, rather than just play off my winner, and if he has a doubleton, I'm in trouble, I am going to cross to dummy. I really don't like those diamonds. I really would throw one. Cross to dummy, the 8, and now lead this 3rd club. And you can see the bind that that South is in here. If he roughs, he really is roughing the. Suddenly you do have a spare trump in dummy, and you have a spare winner, because when you get back in, you can use that queen of clubs to throw away a heart. You can play ace of hearts, rough a heart with a spare trump, and so you're making your contract. He's been forced to almost waste his trump by roughing your losing club. Well, he wasn't forced to do that. That was a choice he made. The alternative is he keeps his trump to make life difficult for you. And the big advantage from West point of view, us the declarer, is yay, I can now make all 3 of my top trumps. And now, well, now not quite finished, I see, because if I try to rough the club, I'm fairly sure I'm going to be over rough. I just saw him show out. And he's got the 7 of spades. He will beat my 4 of spades. But I still have something in my armory. I'm going to lead the club, but rather than rough it and be over roughed, I am, of course, going to throw away one of my hearts. And, well, that's a winner, so you won't have that either. Now I hope to be able to rough my losing heart rather than my losing club. So they'll, who knows, try and force me with a diamond. They know I'm roughing them. And ace of hearts. And you just hope South hasn't managed to throw away all his hearts on these. Here we go. Everybody follow, please. And yes, he has to follow suit. So I've made it now by roughing my last heart. And I'm going to... there are trumps out. How to join. Give me a moment. Control D. Okay. Sending somebody the link to the... in fact, if anybody's watching, why not send it to the Kabitzers? Control D. Okay. Okay. Has it got a name? I don't know. No, I don't remember it being named, Jack. I've seen it several times in books. And sometimes you have to lead twice. I've rarely seen it where you have to lead all. Rarely seen it where somebody's void and you have to do it all 3 times. But I've certainly seen it where you've got to do it twice. And I've also seen it like this one where you've got to go and do it once. And the number of times you do it is purely depends on the entries. I mean, I've done it in real life. I've cashed the ace, I've crossed a dummy on a little club, and it was totally unnecessary. South had 2 clubs. So I made my king, I crossed back again, I led a club, and that one was necessary. So doing it extra times doesn't cost in the sense of you lose a trick because you've done it too often. The more times you can do it, the more times you're likely to succeed, because you just give them fewer and fewer chances. But the one where it really catches them is the one where they have run out, and that's the one where they have to make this unpleasant choice. Do I waste my trump? Do I let you make your top suit cards and then do other things later on? So never seen a name for it, Jack. No, but it is. It certainly, I've seen it frequently in books, and I've certainly seen it a few times in real life. So okay. I seem to remember you made it by oh, claim please. You are such a slave driver. Oh, claim. Okay. You were just in time there, I think. I tried to. Okay, moving on. Hand number 5. Let's put to the table. Upload. Excellent, John. Good. It says pass. I know a lot of people who would open this actually, although you can get into trouble. I where did I get this from? David Berthand. So I'll probably have to invent an auction or something. Certainly, I recommend opening 5, 4, 3, 1 hands when all your 11 cards are in the 2 suits. So I would probably be opening the north hand, but there we go. East opens a club, so I assume they're playing 2 over 1 here. Since Ackle would surely be 2 over spade. 4 hearts is a preempt, which has nothing to do with system whatsoever. And I had a long discussion with Caroline about whether West should double. The trouble with doubling is it shows a 10 count and shorted heart and invites partner to bid, but you don't have a proper 10 count with so many jacks in your hand. Jacks are somewhat overvalued in the point count system. And if partner does have a distribution hand and bids on, it's a bit unclear whether you've got the value. It's all very well if partner's got a 5-card space suit, but surely either opened a 5-card space suit. So you're probably a double is likely to produce some 5-level bid, and are your jacks enough to then set the contract? Whereas if you pass, you do normally expect to go and set a 4-heart contract. So and okay, doubling might then produce another 100, but it's unclear to me whether you should really double. I double with 4 spades, but I don't like doubling without it. So here we are. We have bid. We in the south seat. That's for your benefit, Bob. We have bid our way to 4 hearts, and the opponents make the natural lead because partner opens a club of leading the jack of clubs, which is quite a relief, really, since that was a bit of an overbid vulnerable, but there we go. Fortunately, they led our suit, not theirs. So, certainly, I think what you're going to do is try and throw away some of your spades. At least I thought that. Now, I had a look at what blue did. And I wasn't convinced. Blue thought we should draw the trumps and then he'd be in and catch the clubs later. But let's just do that here if we can. Now, the thing I didn't like about it was, of course, should West continue playing the clubs here? Well, I would vote strongly against that, because you're trying to set this contract, and somehow or other, I have the feeling that the opposition have the ace and king of clubs. So you're hardly going to make any tricks in the club suit. Will you make some tricks in the diamond suit then? Well, if you can, you won't make very many. You've got 5, Dummy's got 5, And even if partner's got ace and king, that means South has a singleton, the queen of the 10. So diamonds is really, you might make a diamond trick, but then that's the end, surely, of making tricks in diamonds. Where can we get our tricks from? Well, we might get some tricks from the spade suit, provided, of course, a partner has some values in spades. But wait a bit, East opened the bidding. So far, East has shown absolutely nothing. Nothing so far in the heart suit, and probably doesn't have much, because South just bid four hearts all on his own. Partner will have values in diamonds and clubs. So I say you're likely to have a diamond trick, but I really, leading one may persuade partner to go looking for more. Very definitely, you should say, we've got to get some spade tricks before a few things get thrown away over here. So it should be fairly routine to switch to the spades, and well, your partner can still go wrong. But if, as I do, you play that guarantees an honor, and once the suit led back, your partner will then find the right defense of leading it through. So I thought the risk that blue took by playing a heart so that they won't find the spade was unwise. And certainly, I mean, it worked because West didn't really think about, where do I get four tricks? I got to set this gun. I need four tricks. Where do I get them from? But West thought he could get them from the club suit and continue playing the club suit. So well done on finding a winning line, blue. Let's go back to where I would have played it differently, which is after. Yes. Now we wait for these unnecessary yellow notices to disappear. Okay. So at this point, you could get rid of one spade. Now that means you've got two spade losers. And if hearts are 2-2, and you need them to be 2-2, if they're 3-1, well, there is one holding where you might still get only one loser, but I'll discuss that in a second. So you're probably, though, if hearts are 2-2, you should be able to draw them with your king and queen, lose two spades. But that involves immediately continuing with the club suit and taking advantage of this lead. Okay, so now we're all set to do the final thing, which is drawing trumps. And well, it's possibly better if I show you how it goes wrong. There's only one holding, 3-1 holding, where I can make the contract by only losing one heart. That is if East happen to have the singleton ace of hearts. Then when I lead the 4 of hearts from dummy, East would have to play the ace. And then, of course, my king and the queen are going to hopefully draw the trumps later on. But normally, what you end up playing for is a 2-2 break. And this is what can go wrong. The opponents know that they need to get some tricks off you. The same logic I gave you earlier should apply. There's surely not much future in the diamond suit, but there might be in the spade suit. And to clarify to partner, you do have the king. West should really start now, because a spade has already been thrown. West should start with the king and get a count from his partner. So that's an even number. Okay, so I'm not going to play for a diamond trick. Partner said he's got even. So I'm going to continue here. And now South will suspect that that's the last spade. Sorry, East will suspect that's South's last spade. So should he cash the ace of diamonds? Well, there's no rush. If South has a diamond, I will make a diamond. What does matter is I try to make a trump trick by leading my 8 of clubs. Because if I play south small. That gets over-ruffed, and south has just gone down in his contract because although the trumps were 2-2, we've managed to trump promote a trick. And of course, if south tries to prevent that by being over by ruffing high, oh, who invented these yellow notices? Then, of course, you've simply given away that trick later on, because now you will definitely again lose a trick to the jack of hearts and only make 11. Now, I believe, certainly various books I've read, again, this is a type of hand I've seen several times in magazine and done myself at the table. I have reached this position of having thrown one of my spades, and now I need decent breaks in the other. Now, if I lead a heart, although I said the ace of hearts on the right-hand side is great news, they can still do this trick about trump promoting by leading the 8 of clubs. And the cure is to not allow them to own the 8 of clubs to give this trump promotion. And trust me, this is not uncommon in real life. I have done it many times in my life. I've seen it many times in magazines. You've cashed a lot of the suit. There's one left that could be used for the trump promotion. Play it and throw a loser on loser. Now, in the side suits, you're still losing 2 tricks. You were going to lose 2 spade tricks. Now, instead, you've lost a club trick and thrown a spade on it, and you've still got 1 spade. So there's still only 2 losers that you're losing. You're hoping the hearts are 2-2. You're hoping that there's no more trump promotions coming your way. And you can see there isn't. There's 2 trumps gone. Again, I think the same logic would apply. He's on lead. I've got to take 2 tricks. I'm guessing, really. I'm fairly sure I cash the ace and get a count card from partner, and I can see that. I can't believe he's throwing the spades. No, partner's got the king of spades. I would try the ace of diamonds and then feel very aggrieved when they rough that. And now, of course, I'm off my merry way, and there is no way they're going to play that 8 of clubs and trump promote anything for their partners, because I didn't leave them the cards to actually do it. So I'll go back to that position so you can just recognize it when you see it. Let's go back to it. 3, 4. This, no. Yes, here we go. Bit more then. And I suppose even this would be the great, maybe this I think shows it well. So if I stop it there, right, the idea is you've gone and cashed quite a lot of a suit, but left them with a card that they can use for a trump promotion. You have losers in your hand. Play off that last card so the trump promotion card is used early while you throw a side suit loser on it. I'm not sure. I can't just play one hand at once. Queen Caroline. Queen of Spades, you mean? If someone's like 3-1, you're always going down. Because you're going to end up with two heart losers. You've got 2 side suit losers, and if trumps break 3-1, you're going to lose 2 heart losers. So you really have to assume they're 2-2, and then play to best advantage. But the big danger on this sort of hand is they can do a trump promotion against you, and that's what you go to avoid by leaving the last one. Okay, are you ready for this, Sonia? I am claiming 7 more tricks because I'm throwing the spade on the club, and then I've only got 1 heart loser and 1 spade loser left. So close, Clint. And yet you know these are here for you to do something clever. You should have done it. You should have done it. Okay, moving on. Board number 6. Export. Spain. Okay, this looks like another ACL auction since a lot of the David Bird auctions are ACL for some reason. I guess he's like me. He's no trumps, and this looks like me cutting the auction short. Since we have a read of my little writing, so. Right. Okay. Yes, I'm fairly sure this is definitely an ACL auction. It was played by Colin, and I'm fairly sure they wouldn't have just. Oh, 6 no trump. Maybe I missed a pass out. I think I missed 2 passes out. Let me try again. So pass, 2 no trumps, pass, and 6 no trumps. So. I'm sure at the very least West would have tried to look for the spade suit and then might have offered the club suit. So the auction probably went on for ages, and I just cut it short so you don't have to. Right. Okay. So lead is the 8 of hearts. After 3 more passes. And well, we counter tricks. I'm going for 5 diamonds on reasonable breaks, 3 hearts for 8, ace of clubs for 9, and I need 3 more. There are combination of places to get them. One place is that you might get them from the spade suit. And another one is that you might get them from, well, 2 of them from the club suit. You can take 2 finesses. I suppose they might break 3-3 as well. But normally I'd expect this to be a sort of combination thing. If I take the club finesse early and it wins, I'd be up to 10 tricks. I would just drive out the ace of spades and make sure I take 2 more. Is that a wise thing to do? Well, the trouble of taking the club finesse early is it's great when it wins. I just force out the ace of spades. But if it loses, they will cash the ace of spades in a flash the moment spades are played at all. So definitely it's all or nothing to go and take the club finesse. Meanwhile, do I have additional chances in the spade suit? Well, you actually have lots of additional chances. Some of these come from mistakes by the opponents. Many opponents will play their ace, even on the 3 of spades, if you leave it. They have a great belief that aces run away, and that if they don't beat the 3 of spades and the 4 of spades, somehow or other the contract will make, and so on. Aces, of course, should always be kept in reality to beat kings, queens, or the opponent's high cards to promote your lower cards. But nevertheless, people do take them early. And they can also take them early by beating a high card. So what I'm recommending here, of the space suit, there's 2 ways of playing it. I'm going to win this, of course. Okay. Now, one way of playing it is to cross to the east hand and lead a spade to the queen. But then that's the maximum number of leads I can make in that direction. The other way of playing it is I'm already in the west hand, lead a spade towards the king and the jack, because if it wins, I can cross back again and once more play a spade towards the king and the jack combination. Now, 2 leads are much better than 1. One lead works every time the opponents take the ace at any point, because now I can also see if the spades are breaking 3-3. But it also wins when North has ace doubleton spade. I lead a low spade and North is good and ducks it. But when I lead the second spade, well, if North starts with ace doubleton, up goes the ace, and suddenly I have 3 spade tricks. Wonderful. So that is very definitely the way to start, because even if the spade finesse loses, even if even the worst can happen is I win the king jack of spades and I have to decide, are spades breaking 3-3 or should I take the club finesse? And really, that's, a decision I kind of had at the start, really. Should I be taking the club finesse or should I be trying to do it? But meanwhile, so many other nice things might have happened. So there we go, taking the thing. Interesting which card you play here. I would tend to play the king. People will like beating aces with kings. And if the ace is here, I want South to take it, because that gives me the option of seeing if spades are 3-3 before I take the spade, the club finesse. So rather than the jack, which you might think, I'll duck that and let partners beat the king. To be honest, if you play the jack so early, you're likely to have the king anyway. But king, come up with the ace. Well, good and bad news. He didn't play the ace, which is one of my options. But hey, at least the ace of spades is on the correct side of the table. North has got it. So now I'm going to follow the plan I told you about. Do I need to unblock the king of diamonds? Don't think I do. Don't see why I should. So I'm going to cross over straight away in the diamonds. I'll play the jack. I'd overtake the king of diamonds if I have to. And here I go again, another one over here. And who knows, maybe North has doubleton ace. Maybe North is a short fuse person. Play the ace because I refuse to let him make the jack, which I assume is in the... And because if he does rise with the ace, well, I've just got 2 more spade tricks, and that's all I need to make my contract. A good player, of course, will keep the ace to beat the queen. You use your aces to beat the high cards of your opponent. So not going so well so far, but something unexpected now happens, which makes the contract cold. And what happens is that South shows out of the spade suit. So it's suddenly clear that the spade suit is now deadly poison. They're certainly not going to break 3-3. If I lead to the queen of spades, I'm going to go at least 2 down when they cash the rest of the spade suit. But what is really wonderful about it is that South has none. So if I now take the club finesse and it loses, they will not be able to cash the ace of spades. So kind of, I think that's what I'll do. No sweat. I'll check the diamonds are coming in. Well, they have to be coming in there, right? I'll play all the diamonds. This is my last chance to reach dummy. So, not sure what he'd throw. I suppose he throws hearts. He's got to throw something. Now, I'm going to take... So these are useless to me now. Throw those away. And test my last diamond. Yeah, for another losing spade. And now I'm in the position to take the club finesse, and I cannot go down, but I might make an overtrick if the finesse is right. So I tried to take it twice. So I lead one of the high honors in dummy, so I can repeat the club finesse. Small, but it does lose. If it had won, I'd just take it again. But South, of course, has no spades, can't put his partner in. So I don't know, play a heart, throw that away, throw that away, and I am claiming the rest of the tricks to win kudos with Sonia. So claiming through taking all of them. So this hand is very much about playing the spade. Notice you had to play them twice. There's no reason that North had 5 of these. He might just have had 4, and South had 2. So if you had only played the spades once, and then you took the club finesse, the club finesse loses, and if South did have 2 spades, you would have been going down by a spade being across to the ace of spades. So you maximize your chances in the spades, and as I described, there are lots of them based on mistakes by your opponents, also based on I emphasize ace double turn because that's actually so very common. But South showing out because North had ace to 5 is less common. But hey, when it happens, it really assists you in the play of the contract. So remember, not the 4 of spades towards the queen. You can only play that once. It's the 3 of spades towards the king-jack combination, then the 6 of spades towards the king-jack combination. 2 chances to try and get extra value out of your honours before deciding whether to continue with spades or switch to the club. And the singles of spade made it easy. We switched to clubs and they came contract. Please count your. Oh, I'm being told off by Caroline. This is bad. I'm being told off by Caroline. I have normally done something wrong. You mean I should count your tricks to you, Caroline, or just I'm not counting them very clearly? I didn't I count them? I thought I did. I had 5 spades, 5 diamonds, 3 hearts for 8. 8 of clubs for 9. I think yeah, okay. Well, I did. 5 diamonds, 3 hearts was 8. Ace of clubs was 9. I was looking for 3 more tricks, and I'm sure I said that at the time. Board number 7. Okay. There we go. Okay, so South opens a heart. And yes, I think this is not a real hand. It's a magazine hand of some sort where there was a bidding misunderstanding. East was fairly new to the game and thought he was playing strong jump over calls and raised partner to the final control. So probably not a sequence. To be honest, I'm not truly sure even how good a, when you do these jump over calls, you're supposed to have a good quality suit, which you do. I don't think you're supposed to have the other major because it could easily be that 4 hearts is the right contract. And the rest of your hand is not supposed to be particularly strong. So owning aces outside the main suit is also frowned upon because aces significantly strengthen the playing strength of your hand. Still, that's the problem of East and West, not our problem. Our problem is to make 6 spades. And the lead is, I'll have a look. It's the 5 of hearts. Okay, so the bits are. Okay, well, kind of easy to analyze. The spades are solid. The 2 top clubs, which can be used for discards. And I have 2 losing hearts. I could rough one. Or if I don't rough one, I got 3 losing hearts. Okay, and then I've got a sort of interesting looking diamond suit because I'm missing the king and queen, but I do have the jack, the 10, the 9, and the 8. So the trick about this hand, if trick's the right word, is the concept that I'm clearly going to have to take roughing finesses against South in the diamonds. So I've actually got to use that ace and king of clubs, not to throw away losing hearts, which of course is my ultimate objective, but to throw away losing diamonds, because with the 10 and 5 of diamonds gone, I can use the jack, 9, and 8 to finesse against South, whom I believe should have the king, queen of diamonds. because South opened the bidding from the lead. I guess he's got King, Queen, Jack of Hearts. That's only 6 though. So it's not unreasonable to suppose he's got the King and the Queen of Diamonds as part of the high cards for his or her opening bid. So I should be able to finesse. And indeed, if actually North has one of the King or Queen of Diamonds, I don't think I can ever make, because I'm going to lose a diamond to North. And surely I'm going to lose one heart trick. I see no real way. I've got to assume that South has both the King and Queen of Diamonds. I've got to use this trick of throwing the Ace, King of Clubs, throwing diamonds away and taking roughing finesses. But even then, I've got to be careful because, of course, South has 2 winners. So if I play Ace, King of Clubs, throw 2 diamonds now, cash the Ace of Diamonds, I'm running out of entries to get to. I've got to cross back again, take my first diamond finesse. It might work. Cross back again, take a second diamond finesse. If the 5 of spades was an entry to dummy, that would do the job for me. I could get on immediately with throwing a diamond, and then use the Jack, 9, and 8 to take finesses against the King, Queen. But I just need that one extra entry to get back to dummy. And the 5 of spades, you can see, isn't an entry. North has 3 spades. So after the King and the Queen, you can't actually reach dummy to use them. So is all lost? Well, no, because I want to throw these diamonds away, but do I? One of those diamonds, the 10, is itself a very useful card. It is a potential winner against the King and the Queen of Diamonds. So this is how to use the 10. Lead a diamond straight away. Well, let's get to dummy by winning the first trick. Again, interesting what South plays. He can just play the 8, which is a count card. Or he could play, and that says, I have solid hearts, a good suit to lead partner, get me in, I've got cards to go and cash. You might do either, depending what you decide is the right thing to signal. Back to being declarer again. The right thing to do is to lead a diamond, because with my 10, it's going to force West to use up one of his top diamonds now. If he puts the 2 in, I'm just going to make a trick out of the 10. And I've really, after my Ace of Diamonds, I've only got 1 diamond left in the East hand to deal with. So rather than playing low, it'd be very cool to play low. Go away, right, here we go. It would be quite sensible to put the Queen up. Actually, playing low and playing partner for the 10 of diamonds is sensible, but let's see what happens. Can you see, let me go back again then, if you do play the 2 to keep your honors, after the 10, and then after the Ace, like this, that's 2 of these honors gone. Now I can cross back to dummy with a spade, use just the Ace of Clubs to throw the diamond, and I've only got this 1 diamond to pick up. So I'll do it for Bob, because I know Bob likes to see these things. So I cross over here, right? And the whole thing about the hand is I can use the discards to clear the diamond rust for me. Now I can take the last finesse, jolly good. I suppose he has to follow all the. No, he doesn't. I'm going to play 10 to make sure. Okay, that's all of them done. Cash the Ace of Spades, 7 of Spades, and now I'm in a position where I have 2 discards. The 9 of Diamonds is good, so I can throw 1 of my hearts away, and then my King of Clubs is good, so I can go and throw another of my hearts away. So I'm left with 1 loser, And rather than go back, I'll claim it at this point. So I'll go through the hand twice. I'm going to claim 2 more tricks. And I've made the contract. Okay. So let me put it up for you again and show what happens if he doesn't play cool and plays a low one. I'll play to the table. Let's bid a wrong person. It's West bid 6 spades. 6 spades, because that's the final contract. Right. 5 of hearts led. I quite like it. Lead the 3, and I say South might decide to split his honours to make sure that your 10 doesn't take a trick. So we win with the ace, follows, and I'm not counting on trumps breaking 2-2, so I probably would try to draw as many rounds of trumps as possible. After all, if they were 2 true, nobody could trump anything. That must be good. So anyway, here we go. Okay, well, I can't draw the last trump because then I'd have no way to get back to my winning their diamonds. This is where we do the clever stuff of not throwing the losing hearts, our long-term objective, but throwing the diamonds away. That sets up the roughing position. So now we're okay to start taking finesses. So covers to stop it. If you throw the 2 of diamonds, we just continue playing them. I'm going to rough it, of course, and cross back to the last trump. And now I've got 2 more winners have magically appeared. The 9 and the 8 of diamonds are both good. So once again, 2 hearts are going to disappear. I'm going to be left with the losing heart, but I have 2 winning spades. So 2 diamonds, 2 spades, 4 more tricks. I'm yet again claiming my contract as a making contract. Well, I don't know about you. I have seen. I don't remember ever doing this one. I've seen it before in magazines, in problem hands, but I can't remember ever doing this one in real life. So I'm guessing it's not all that common a real life thing. But should it ever come up, certainly though there is a moral lesson. When you have 2 cards that you can discard, don't automatically throw the losers you want to throw. See if throwing something different profits you. Oh, and one thing I have done in real life, although it wasn't as complicated as this one, I had a 4-card, let's say diamond suit opposite ace king small. I was able to cash ace king of diamonds, throw the losing diamond from the ace king small, then rough a diamond, and they were 3-3 when I did this. So I was able to cross back to dummy and cash the last diamond that I managed to set up. So there are situations. So I didn't use my ace of clubs to throw away the loser I wanted to throw away. I managed to use the loser to throw away one that looked as though I should keep, but actually gave me the option of roughing a suit out. So this motif does actually come up in real life. Oh, I've seen lower point slams than that. There was one just recently with 19. I think I had David. They're just hard to bid the lower the point get. That's fine. On to the last hand, which is a very sore point for me, which I'll explain to you as we do it. The table. And this is a real life hand, card by card. I haven't adjusted in any way. This is the real life auction that actually happened. I have to say, I have actually seen people giving bridge talks to other people, expounding the fact that they should open 2-no trump when they have a singleton ace or even a singleton king. And personally, I am normally dead set against it. I know some people, especially have then been playing bridge very long, and they know that if you open tuna trumpet shows, say 20 to 22, and then they decide that the only way to show 20 to 22 is to bid two no trumps. So there they are with a 5-5-2 one hand, and they open two no trumps because they're telling partner they have to do their 20 to 22. But of course, two no trumps says they're balanced. And the trouble of opening with a singleton is, well, I have seen people, especially when it's a 5-4-3-1 hand, certainly miss 6 clubs and 7 clubs because they were just unable to find the final contract. Nor could the other partner appreciate there was a singleton, which was so crucial to making it. But the other side of the coin is that 4-4-4-1 hands often play as though they're balanced. This, you see, isn't a proper distributional hand. True distributional hands have 9 or more cards in 2 suits and a singleton or a void. Hands which are balanced have neither of those features. And the ones which have one feature and not the other, which I call between hands, sometimes play better as if they were balanced and play better in no trumps, and sometimes play better as though they were distributional and play in a suit contract. So, but when you're 4-4-4-1, the lack of that 5th card, it seems to me that two no trumps does end up edging the balance of where you're likely to profit by turning up. So, so although I'm normally advocating against it, I'm less unhappy when it's a 4-4-4-1 distribution. Still, North obviously felt very guilty about this. So, so when partner transferred to the heart suit, North had a complete panic attack about, well, if I bid hearts, maybe he's going to bid 4 hearts, and that would be terrible. Of course, what North is going to do is continue by bidding the spade suit, and then they might reach the cold 7 spade contract. I don't know. But what North decided to do was to bid 3 no trumps to emphasize to partner, and no way on this earth do I wish to go and play in the heart contract. So, bit unclear to me now, because with such a dislike of the heart suit, I'm not convinced that South has a 6-level bid anymore, because the hearts need an awful lot from partner to actually bring it in. But nevertheless, 6 no trump was the bid chosen. The lead, of course, is the Jack of Diamonds. Oh, by the way, I was east on this hand, and I'm still hurting about it. Right, so you're going to win the King of Diamonds, and I see no point in overtaking. You're going to count up your tricks, which are, well, I don't know, 4 spades, 3 diamonds, 7, ace of clubs, 8, ace of hearts for 9. Oh, and the King of Hearts for 10. Where can I get extra tricks from? Well, amazingly, from the heart suit that North didn't want to go and play in. But because we're not playing in it, we don't have the entries to set it up. If only I had another entry to the South hand, I could play off the ace of hearts, use my first entry, and then I can play King of Hearts and another heart, and there's all sorts of ways I might game. There might be Queen Doubleton, so I will lose a trick to the 10, but no problem, I'll be able to continue King, Jack, and another, and the heart suit is set up, and I've got another entry to get to it. Or there might be a 10 Doubleton, so now it's the Queen of Hearts which is going to take a trick, but nevertheless, I'm fine. And then, of course, the one that you can actually see, hearts might just be 3-3, and so ace of hearts, king of hearts, another heart, and the whole of the heart suit comes in. If only you had another entry to dummy. And you do. It's just a matter of seeing it. And North found, well, to me, a new way of cheating. So what he did was he actually played a spade to the king, thought about it, and then he played the queen, and then he thought about it, and then he realized he had no idea how to make it. But fortunately for him, he was playing in an express tournament. Now, in an express tournament, if you don't go and make a bid or a play within 30 seconds, you get replaced by a robot as a punishment. But our player knew that the robots were much better players than he was. So he waited the full 30 seconds to be replaced by the robot. Yeah, well, indeed. So the robot saw it in a flash, of course, and you are all seeing it now. We do have a second entry to dummy, namely the 4 of spades to the 5 of spades. And I tell you, the robot just, it was all done. Oh, sorry, oh dear. I forgot to unblock the ace of hearts. So busy moaning about this new way of cheating, of letting the robot play it when you don't know how to do it. I will say, Sandra, if you actually know the people who run the express tournaments, seriously suggest to them that the robot comes in and they lose 2 imps or 3 imps. Because funnily enough, it happened twice in the tournament. Once it made no difference because the contract was hopeless, so even the robot wasn't able to play it. But this one, the hesitated so long, he had not seen what to do, and it was male. So I think there should be not a reward to bring the robot in. There should actually be some sort of punishment that you haven't made your play in the given time. So here we go. We unblock the ace of hearts first. Then, as I gather you saw it in the real life as well, did you, Robert? Well done. Okay. Now we play for, can we drop 10 or the... okay, well, now our only chance is that it doesn't matter which one you play. 10 and queen are all winners. And, well, there we go. And yes, they broke. So, well, I think I couldn't see the north hand, but I could see that, how did I reach? Oh, I crossed early. I'm sorry, I should have cashed the queen of spades early to check the spades were breaking. Do you want me to do it properly, Sanya? Can't see more, but right. Yeah, I should have cashed the. Anyway, I tried a club because my only chance now is I could take 2 club tricks, but of course I couldn't, and it made no difference. I was giving a free club trick because South is able to reach the dummy, which has millions of tricks in it. So there we go. And you can throw away your ace and queen of diamonds, which are also winners. So, well, yes, common theme in books, actually, Caroline. My advice, I'm going to claim the contract so you can see the full hand. So you can put my tricks right there. This one is very common in real life. It really is. You often have suits like this one where you have 2 small cards in the hand and quite a lot of high cards. If you test the suit, and I should have done this properly, I should play king of spades, queen of spades first. Only when I know that the suit is breaking 3-1 do I know that it's safe to overtake the jack of spades and kill my 2 winners, leaving the tiny cards also as winners. You should see it because it's actually common, and the need for extra entries is really, I mean, this isn't something I've done every now and again. This is something I've used frequently, as I can manufacture another entry and it allows me to do this. Yeah, you need them 3-2, but you can afford to test it. King of spades, queen of spades, and as long as everybody follows, the jack can be wasted on the ace, keeping the 4 for the 5. So I would definitely make a note of that one. It is something you will see sooner or later in your bridge life. Trust me on that. And there we have done with board number 8, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I'm hoping that Colin comes back again next week. So maybe he's going to stay on his golfing holiday forever. You never know. But